Hi there, I'm Michelle Isaac and I'm here at the National Art Gallery visiting Ms. Desiree, the Chief Curator of the National Art Gallery, here to ask her a few questions about how art is in Namibia. So let's go. Ma'am, could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, Michelle. Hi, viewers. My name is Desiree Nanuses, and I'm the Chief Curator for the National Art Gallery of Namibia.
Ma'am, could you tell us what is art in your own opinion?
I love that question. I feel that question brings back everything that we went through when we had the pandemic that came upon us. We sat at home, we were in lockdown, we sat at home. All we had to deal with was basically look at our phones or look at the TV. You sat on couches. When we speak art, design, architecture, craft, that's all art. You would say that it's not essential? No, it is essential because those were the things that we used to cope in times when challenges come about. So art for me is you deciding in your mind, what is it that I'm gonna envision and making that thing come to life. And most of the times it's a communicative tool utilized by visual artists in expressing what they wish to say only in a visual manner. So there are some people who read and they'll understand. There's some people who need to see a picture and understand. And visual art basically is making people see it in picture form. And so as an artist, most times you think in pictures. You don't think in words. You don't think linear. And I think that is the power of art for me. You can stand in front of a painting and see a million things. And the same thing that you see is not the same thing that I will see or that you will see, for example. And I think that is the power of art. And for me, I see it all. The couch is a design object. I mean, we have functional objects. A mug, we have things like the Ohole cup. It was created with function, yet it is an art object as well, you know? So you look at it, what is the purpose for that thing? And I mean, people will say art, oh, it's beautiful, it's aesthetic value, but that's not all that it contributes. Sometimes it's therapeutic, sometimes it's healing, you know? Sometimes it needs to provoke an emotion in you. Sometimes it needs to just put you on edge. Sometimes it just needs to give you a peace of mind. Sometimes it allows you to reflect and introspect. And we also need to do that. And art allows you to move through all of those spheres within yourself.
Ma'am, as the Chief Curator, can you tell us about the National Art Gallery, what platform or what it offers to the Namibian art and Namibian artists?
Okay, well, the gallery functions as a space that needs to develop visual artists and promote the visual arts. So those are our key two mandates. So we are responsible for development of visual artists and the promotion of visual arts in Namibia. So promotion we're doing through various platforms. We'll have things like exhibitions, we'll have workshops, we collect for the collection. So promotion encapsulates us saying, we're gonna take your art, we're going to put a name and a face to the art, and we're going to try and find a way that we're going to sell the art so that you can have a livelihood that comes in towards you. So that is how we would help promote. At the same time, it's developing you.
So how well do you think art in Namibia is represented?
Represented in Namibia? I think within the past couple of years, we've had a couple of private galleries that came up that are doing a really good job, I think, in putting up artworks for artists. But the gallery, us, ourselves, we, as the National Art Gallery, is a standard we have to uphold. So we don't accommodate everyone. We don't accommodate someone who's just started off. So for example, in order for your work to be shown in the National Art Gallery, we have requirements. We'd say you would have had to have done 3 prior solo exhibitions elsewhere before we can host you for a solo, or 10 group exhibitions, because that's where we see how you are creating and that it is authentically your work that you are presenting to us. I mean, imagine if nobody's ever heard of me and I show up at the gallery and say I want to do a solo, and I've stolen works from all over, and then that's what I'm going to put up. So it's a reputation that goes with our name that we also have have to protect. So we look at what is the track history of this artist before we put out their work. And because of that, the artists that we work with, they are really artists that are powerful. They are really artists that are impacting, that are speaking on different levels of the society, in politics, in economics, and the subject matter that they bring to us is important to us, that it adds to that collection that I was telling you about. Because if you're going to look through pictures, you want to make sure that you are identifying that economics is represented, politics is represented, gender-based violence is represented. You have to look at all of those things being represented. The artists are the ones that bring us that.
How would you encourage a young person out there to pursue a career as an artist?
I think I think that the challenge that we have is that the young people are more open and more receptive to receiving art. It is the conditioning of our parents' minds that is a challenge, and I think they would need to understand that art isn't a rebellious state, which is what my parents used to think, and that they should see art as a progressive state of mind. Because if you had to think, all technology that evolved was because someone was ingenious, where someone was creative, where someone decided they're going to think outside the box. I mean, the invention of Facebook, for example, is an art form. And some people are born with these innate abilities and gifts, and that once you identify that in a child or a person that you're engaging with, that you can encourage that person in that space to say, no, but there's talent here. Go speak to the gallery. Because we receive a lot of people that come that way to us, so that we can tell them these are the types of professions. It's really wide-ranging.
What advice can you give to our parents that sees art as not an art form or a professional career in that form?
I've had that personal experience where my parents were embarrassed to say that I study art, and it took them seeing that I'm making a living off of being an artist for them to accept it. So the artists themselves would have to take ownership that if I'm called to be an artist, I must be disciplined, I must behave like a professional, because it's still a career. It's not a thing you just do.
There we have it. Thank you, Ms. Desiree, for your time and your advice, and for welcoming us to the National Art Gallery.
It's a pleasure.
Well, there you have it, guys. See you guys on the 27th of March, where we have the opening of the Creative Identity exhibition. See you there.